The 19th of May, uh, Rabbi Febian, substituting for Rabbi Levitt, Daniel.
Lou,
Hello.
Hello.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay, so where we left off yesterday was we were reading Pasuk. We had read Pasuk Mem, and I was reading from the Yafa Leketz, and he was explaining about we have the Melech, we have the. It's very famous discussion about the from the north comes the what's the Lashon here we see. Be'esa Kates, she's Nageach Emo Melech HaNegev. So one thing is not as well known as the discussion of Melech HaNegev. Who is the Melech HaNegev? So I was proposing that in our day, perhaps we could say the Melech HaNegev is Hamas. Some don't agree with that. Some want to say it's Mitzrayim. Um, could be. But it doesn't, some of the things don't fit. But it is interesting to note that we have the whole battle going on that we have from the north and from the south in Eretz Yisrael itself. And some ways you could look at it and see that it does seem to fit into here. In some ways you can look at it and say it doesn't. So take it as you see it. We do have the lashon of the text is we're at the time of the Achris Yamim, the Asa Gates, and Yinagach Imo Melech HaNegev, whoever the Melech HaNegev is, which has got different opinions. V'yishtar alav Melech HaTzafon. And the lashon of Yishtar is the Melech HaTzafon is they're he's fighting a battle. Yariv, Rivo, Yisar, Hatzilu. You probably see in the papers that you have Melech Hatzafon, which today we have the Hezbollah up in the north. You have in Syria. Beroy, Berechev, Ubeprashim, Ubaniyos, and there in the pasuk, it's with vehicles and with boats, many, Uba, Ba'artzos, Bishataf, Ba'avar. And it's a big battle going on. Seems to be a battle going on, though not with Eretz Yisrael, although they discuss Eretz Yisrael in the psukim here, and we'll get to it in a minute. It's talking about Eretz. In the next pasuk, we talk about Eretz Tzvi, Ubab Eretz Tzvi. So, Lou, why don't you? Who had last? Lou read last, so it's Mayor's turn, I think.
Oh, okay. So Mem Aleph. Okay. It says Uvaba Eretz Hatzvi Rabot Yikashelu Ve'ele Yimaltu Miado Edom Moab Reshit B'nei Ammon. It says then he will invade the coveted land Many will stumble, but these will be saved from his hand. Edom, Moab, and the choice parts of the children of Ammon.
Okay, so the question is, what's he talking about here? I mean, we know that Eretz Tzvi is Eretz Yisrael, right? That's a pretty
Right.
clear reference to Eretz Yisrael.
Okay.
And the question is, what is happening over here with Rabos Yikshalu? So what does he say in the explanation there in the English?
Okay, so as you said, but Eretz Hatzvi is the coveted land, Eretz Yisrael. The Rabot, many lands of the south, according to the Malbim. Then it says Edom, Moab, the Reshit, Bnei Ammon. Edom, Moab, and the choice parts of the children of Ammon. The land of Ammon, the vicinity of modern Amman, the capital of Jordan, is north of Moab. The king of the north will conquer Eretz Yisrael, but will stop at its southern borders and not enter Edom, which lies to its south. However, to the east of the Jordan, he will penetrate southward far enough to conquer most of Ammon, leaving just the choice part. Moab, lying south of Ammon, will escape unscathed.
Mhm.
Okay. Then it goes on, one more statement here. The ancient Edomites, Moabites, and Ammonites, but rather the people living in the ancestral homelands of these nations. For Sennacherib, king of Assyria, thoroughly mixed the populations of those lands many years before the events of this prophecy.
Mhm. I thought it was, I'm not sure if it was Sennacherib. There was one of
Yes,
the who
Sennacherib.
Sennacherib, thought, but I don't remember for sure, who took and switched the people, and which is not the first time it's happened. That we find that sometimes what leaders did was they took peoples and moved them to different countries.
Uh-huh.
And it's an interesting political move, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure exactly what however it is. Let's see, maybe we'll move forward, but we see that, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not sure exactly what we're seeing the, discussion about the battles going on, and this is touching on Eretz Yisrael. I'm not sure. So perhaps we'll move on to the next pasuk with Lou.
Okay, so that's Membet. Vayishlach Yado Ba'aratsos the Eretz Mitzrayim Lo Lifleta. Okay, he will land of Egypt will not be a survivor. He will stretch forth his hand to smite and destroy, according to Mitsudos, to plunder, according to Malbim. That's all the commentary.
Okay, so what I have here, I mean, first of all, the Lashon Lo Tiyeh Lepleta says the Mitzudas David, but Shalom Ra'af She'eris Ma'at Lo Yishar Bo V'Akol Yavdu. In other words, a pleta is usually like um, trying to think of the word in English, um, a place of refuge.
Yeah.
So Mitzrayim won't be a place of refuge. As he says here in the Yifas, in my what called Yifach Leketz, Yichboish Gam Eretz Mitzrayim Kamo Shenava Al Zeb Yeheskel. In other words, Mitzrayim will also be conquered by this ruler here. Not sure if we're still talking about the fire that's coming from the north. Who is the one who's conquering everything and putting everyone under the rule here at this point in the we had the one from the north seemed to be the one who was the main starting from Pasuk Mem. It was although we had a Melech at Safon va'Rechev the Parasha ba'Nios Rabus u'Ba ba'Artzos v'Shata ba'Avar u'Ba ba'Eretz Tzvi. Seems to be the Melech of the north is the one who's the leading power here, who's trying to take over and control everything the best he can, and seems to have taken over Mitzrayim. And is taking over a lot of the countries around, or certainly putting them under his rulership. Okay. Go to Mayor. Why don't we go to Mem Gimel?
Okay. That's amazing. That's my initials, Mayor Gunsher.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Umashal, excuse me, b'michmanei hazahav v'hakesef uvechol chamudot Mitzrayim v'luvim v'kushim b'mitzadav. Okay, so it says he will gain control of the caches of gold and silver and all desirables of Egypt with Lubians and Cushites crushed in his footsteps. Wow. Okay, so let's see. It says B'mik Maneh, the caches. The translation follows Ibn Ezra, Rav Sadia Gaon, and Radak, okay, and Rav Shmuel Mansmuth. The latter gives an alternative translation, the mines of gold. Okay, B'mitz Adav, in his footsteps, the king of the north will conquer the countries beyond Egypt too. Okay, that's the Malbim. Ibn Ezra comments that the Lubians and Cushites will be subject to his authority. Mitsudo renders will be trampled under his feet. Malbim points out that the fall of Egypt in this period was also prophesied by Yecheskel in 32:15.
Okay. Just looking at the Parish here. I mean, it seems again what we're dealing with is we're continuing along the Melech of the North seem to be vastly conquering everything and taking control over the money and over the people, and he's continuing his march. I mean, I don't see in this Chaylos Nakom the Kamos Achechem Kimosh Kasabe Fesco Yatsu the Chayma Vahashmid Yilcham Kinegdam Has Magadaya. Let's see here. I mean, not so much talking about the Jewish people here at this point. We're talking about the northern. I mean, there was touching on Eretz Yisrael, but it seems to be what we're talking about now is this northern leader, and some wanted to go back and say it's a war of Gog and Magog. that was going on here. And the Melech, there was the two parties to the war of Magog and Magog are the Melech of the north, and it's a question what the other side was. Is it the Melech Negev, or is it the Melech Mitzrayim? But there seems to be the Melech of the north seems to be the one. Some could say in our day that it's Iran. The leader of Iran is the north from Eretz Yisrael, not mistaken. And seemed to be he's the one who fights is behind a lot of the battles that have even gone over here. Don't know. But let's go with Mem Daled. Lou, are you with us?
I'm here. Mem
Can you go
Dalet.
to Mem Daled?
Ushe muos ye vahaluhu mizrach umitzafon v'yatza bechema mid ulahacharim. So, but the news from the east and the north will alarm him, and he will set out in great anger to annihilate many.
Right, again, this is the Melech of the north. And the Melech of the north heard news that God annihilate many. What is this to say? Some other explanations here?
It says from the east and north of Egypt, where the king of the north will be then. The rulers of the east, Persia, and the north, Babylonia, will rise up to help their brethren in the south.
Mm-hmm.
This is an elaboration of the vision of the small horn in 7:8. Ibn Ezra's interpretation here is in keeping with his view that the animal with the 10 horns refers to the kingdom of the Arab nations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see. Vayita ole apadno ben yamim lahar tzvi kod. No, hold on. One second.
Don't seem too much comments. The Perushim don't speak about these psukim so much.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misread this. Okay. Ben Yamim, Lahar Tzvi Kodesh, Uba'ad Kitso, the Ein Ozer Lo. So he translates it. He will pitch the tents of his palace between the seas and the holy coveted come to his end, and none will help him. Okay, so let's see what all this is. Hello, Apadno, the tents of his palace. Apadna is Aramaic. In Aramaic is a palace and is used often in the Talmud. It is a great square tent with many rooms, which kings use as a palace. Okay, and then let's see. Lahar Tzvi Kodesh, and the holy coveted mountain. This refers to Mount Zion. And Mitsudos has Tzvi Kodesh referring to Eretz Yisrael as above. Thus, the mountain of the holy coveted land. Here again, Malbim points out the striking similarity between Daniel's vision and that of Yechezkel's. There too, the king of Magog fights his last battle in the valley of the passersby, east of the sea from Yechezkel, and the mountains of Israel, also from Yechezkel.
Seems like like he said, he's gonna fight his last battle and see his end.
Yes.
A moment we're waiting for. So, and that is supposed to be Agog.
It says Magog, the king of Magog, fights his last battle in the valley of the passersby.
Is that the leader of the North? That's the same one that we've been dealing with here.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I have here, we have Vo ad Ketsek Morog Ve'eskol Hamono. I'm not sure. Somehow I have a feeling that's the not following it 100%, but somehow I feel like it's the leader of the North who's going to see his end, the one who was creating all of the havoc, the one who was trying to be taking over everybody. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of Perushim in this. Some they seem to speak more in Perik Yud Beis. Maybe we'll start Perik Yud Beis, Lou. Lou, can you start Perik Yud Beis Pasuk Aleph?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you start Perik Yud Beis Pasuk Aleph?
Okay. Uva'es hahi ya'amod Michael Hasar Hagadol Haomer Haomed Al Bnei Amecha V'haisa Eis Tara Asher Ni Nihaisa Yom Goy Ad Ha'es Uva Ace Hahi Yimalet Amacha Kol Hanimtza Kasuv Basefer. At that time, Michael will stand, the great heavenly prince who stands in support of the members of your people, and there will be a time of trouble such as there has never been since there was installation. Until that time,
this is a very important pasuk here. Lots of explanations going on here.
Will stand, i.e., Michael will, as usual, stand up to defend the Jews. Ibn Ezra adds that this verse is an elaboration of 7:9, where he translates Kar Savan V'min, thrones were thrown down, i.e., the heavenly thrones appointed for the patron angels of the four kingdoms were overturned. Michael, in his role of protector of his people, will finally succeed in overthrowing the kingdoms. He will desist from speaking on behalf of Israel when he sees the Holy One, blessed be he, deliberating on whether to destroy this great nation, the kingdom of the north, because of Israel, according to Rashi. The role of Michael is to defend Israel against its detractors. Michael and Samael, the Satan, stand before the divine presence. Satan slanders Israel and Michael defends Israel. Though Satan tries to slander Michael silences him. The Midrash continues, the Holy One, blessed be he, said to Michael, are you silent? You do not defend my children? I swear that I will speak about justice and rescue my children. With what merit remain created my Torah, I would have returned the world to a state of astonishing emptiness. Who stands in support of the members of your people? For he, Michael, insists upon Israel's needs. And there will be a time of trouble. There will be trouble for the Jewish people in the heavenly tribunal. See Midrashim quoted above. Satan will argue, and probably with considerable justice. The non-Jews are idolaters, and the Jews are idolaters. We're treated differently for us, letting the signs given in Kesubos for the generation of the Messiah into this verse. This generation will see the pangs of the Messiah, the generation of the Messiah described in Sanhedrin. Rabbi Yochanan, speaking about these pangs of the Messiah, exclaimed, let the Messiah come, but may I not see it. Escape. The fourth kingdom, Rome, will be destroyed and Israel will be saved, according to Rashi. Other texts that refer to this prophecy, other texts that refer this prophecy to other nations are undoubtedly the products of censorship. Everything that is found written in this book will occur. Everything that is written in this book, the visions, the dreams, until the beast, the fourth kingdom, was slain, but the holy supreme ones will receive the kingship filled. Rashi. This phrase, everyone who is found written in the book, i.e. the righteous who have been inscribed righteous, as it is written in, and the book of remembrance was written before him for those who fear Hashem, Ibn Ezra Metzudas Malbim, all those who have been written into the ledger books of the collector's charity. Talmud and Sanhedrin avert the pangs of the Messiah.
I don't hear you, Lou.
I think his mic is a little off. So it does say about Michael, I guess, here being what the protector of Israel. And
right. Michael's coming to defend the Jewish people, and the Satan is coming to attack. And he's coming to stand up and win out. And it seemed to be a big Sarah with the pains of Mashiach coming. I mean, there's a lot of Perushim here, a lot. This pasuk, besides the Ralbag, Sudas David, every Perush I have on here is going at great length. Yishtate ki'ilem sheyir HaKadosh Baruch Hu dan ba'atzmo v'omer ech eved umar gedoyle. How could, Rashi says here, Be'esaihi Amud Michal, at the time Michal stands up, like how could Hashem see? He stands up to judge, and he says, how could he see a great nation like this become lost? Which Lou said, the Jewish people are the whole purpose of creation.
Right.
You can't take away the purpose and then expect the whole creation to exist. It will go back to nothingness. It's a strange phenomenon. People lose track. When the world they attack the Jewish people, they don't realize they're attacking their very lives. It's
also the reason why we're always victorious too.
Right. The reason why we keep existing is because Secondly,